If you're asking the question, is Luka Doncic holding Kyrie Irving back? The answer is yes. Yes, Luka is holding Kyrie Irving back. But here's the thing. I personally believe no matter where Kyrie goes in the NBA, if he was on any other team, he would always be held back. If there's a championship caliber team that is going to at least compete in the playoffs, a Western Conference type or Eastern Conference type team, yes, Kyrie Irving is going to be held back. Why? Because he's one of those interesting players, those unique players that are in the middle. He's in the middle of being not good enough to be the best player on the best team. He's not good enough for that, but he's also too good to be some random sidekick. So he's in the middle of that, and Kyrie Irving's not going to be able to lead your team to a championship if he's your best player. We've seen it before. It does not work. So he's going to be a sidekick, and him being held back by Luka is not a bad thing because Luka is a player that can be compatible with Kyrie. When they're on the court together, yes, Kyrie and Luka are not going to be able to operate in the same play and exist in the same play. But can they exist on the court together? Yes. What's going on, everybody? I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing well myself. I got the hat on still, man. So look, man, look. I don't have a haircut, so just bear with the hat. I think it say Brooklyn up there. So I guess we a Nets fan for the day. And I'm kind of late on reporting on this game, but I wasn't like trying to report on the Mavs getting their butts kicked by the Lakers. I want to report on the fact that people have been saying that Luka Doncic is holding Kyrie back because Kyrie's been going crazy in the NBA last few games, and really like 5-6 games he's been just killing, like multiple 40-point games. He's been looking like splendid. And so the first game Luka comes back, I think Kyrie had 12 points out there, like right when he gets back. Yeah, he had 12 points and he shot at 4 for 16. So Luka comes back and folks looking at Kyrie, they like, bro, Kyrie was just on one. Now Luka's back and he's just not doing his thing anymore. And look, man, as much as I want to defend this idea that these two players can exist on the same court, which I believe they can, I'm not going to come on here and say that Luka Doncic isn't responsible for any miscomings or shortcomings that Kyrie may have. I think that game Kyrie was just missing shots. He had the looks he wanted at some points. But the thing is, Luka has the ball in his hands way more than Kyrie. So when Kyrie and Luka are on the court together, it's going to seem like Kyrie's being belittled. It's almost like what's going on with Jordan Poole over there in the Wizards. And this is, not that Kyrie's like Jordan Poole in any way, but, Kuzma just gets the ball and then they just kind of put Poole in the corner and, you just kind of wait for him to get the ball, and then when he gets the ball he goes and scores 30. And not to say that Kyrie and Luka are gonna have that same situation, but it does seem like Kyrie's being belittled in a way, like you're just like kind of like let Luka do what he does because Luka's Luka. And so when it gets bad when Luka's missing shots, because if you see Luka come down the court with the ball in his hands and he does 3 step backs, he misses 3 step backs in a row, you're looking like, hey bro, Kyrie's over there, why aren't we incorporating Kyrie? And it looks like he's just standing, but that's their offense. And that's just has to be the case when you have 2 ball dominant guards. But 2 ball dominant guards can work. It's just about existing and a balance. It's not going to be these 2 guys operating in the same play together. So if you have one missing, you got to give it to the other. And, that's going to come with balance. And it's a little bit different with Luka because it's not like you have like, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal sharing the court. You have, almost like a Steve Nash and a Devin Booker sharing the court. Or, I mean, it's a Luka Doncic and a Kyrie Irving. We can just say that. Because Kyrie is a playmaker. Luka's a playmaker. So Luka is feeding his teammates and he's getting everybody involved when Luka has the ball. So it's not as simple as, if Luka's not hitting shots, just give it to Kyrie, because Luka's doing so much more on the court. Yeah, the camera just died, so I had to switch the view. But essentially what I was saying is you have to have the ball in Luka's hands because he does so much more. With Kyrie Irving, you have the ball in his hands. He's a certified bucket most of the time, or he draws a double team, kicks it out. But he's not doing so much as what Luka's doing. So you want to have the ball in Luka's hands more. It's not the same as if you have, Bradley Beal and, Devin Booker sharing the floor and you can just alternate touches. It's not the same thing. And so I think it does belittle Kyrie in a way, like because what is Kyrie good for? What does Kyrie do well? Kyrie scores. Kyrie doesn't really do much else. You bet on Kyrie to give you, 30 points, and that's what he gives you on a nightly basis. And like outside of that, he's not going to be, an ultra playmaker. He's not an ultra defender. He's a great finisher, but that's just scoring. He's a scorer. He's a bona fide scorer. He can score the ball. And so like once you're not giving the ball to Kyrie Irving, it almost looks like you're belittling him and making him look useless. But people just forget that Kyrie Irving is just one of the best scorers of all time, one of the most skilled players of all time. He doesn't really offer much else on the basketball court. He's just a scorer. And since he's just a scorer, if he doesn't have the ball in his hands just to go score, it looks like you're belittling him, but really he doesn't have much else to do. He's just a scorer. That's Kyrie. And Kyrie has asserted himself amongst the top 10 point guards of all time by just being a scorer. So, like, if you have this idea that Kyrie's supposed to just go and do, like, all of these extra things and Luka's just holding him back, what you're not realizing is that Kyrie Irving just scores. In most of the possessions where Kyrie's sitting in the corner, the Mavs score because Luka's getting somebody the ball somewhere. So even though it looks like Kyrie's kind of just like corner watching, the Mavs offense is still going on. And as long as they're scoring, you're making up for what you're not getting with Kyrie because that's all he's really offering. And yes, Kyrie has that gravity that most superstars have because he's Kyrie. But that gravity almost is even belittled on the Mavericks because Luka's grabbing all the double teams. Luka gets the most double teams in the NBA. So, this is just kind of part of it. Like, this is part of having two great point guards on your team that are top 10 point guards of all time. I'm already putting Luka up there. Luka, if you say Kyrie's a top 10 point guard of all time, Luka is way better than Kyrie's ever been. Come on, don't do this with me. Go watch my video. I talked about this. I already said that Luka Doncic was the top 10 player of all time. I know it's a hot take, but just go watch the video. But look, man, I guess that's the end of this video. I had to switch the whole view up. So, I mean, I forgot everything I was about to say. I'll be ranting. So, I literally just be ranting, yo. But look, man, I think the Mavs can work out though. Like, seriously, I think they're gonna work out as a team. I think they can go pretty far. It's just they gotta find the balance of just existing together. They're not gonna be able. Luke and Kyrie's not gonna be able to, help each other in the same way that a backcourt like Steph and Clay could in their prime, because they are like able to play off of each other because of how they play. When you have two ball dominant guards, they can't really play off of each other, but they can play together on the same court. It's just got to find the balance of alternating touches. And if they do that, you're going to have a lot more games where they're both scoring 40, because that's what you get with two ball dominant guards. If one's not hitting shots though, and the other one's not hitting shots, then it all comes apart. But when you have one, it's going to work out because you have Luka, who's a playmaker. So Luka can switch his mindset to go into playmaking mode, and then Kyrie can stop shooting shots and just start going into the paint. And they're gonna be able to like mesh because they have different abilities. Like, Luka can't finish like Kyrie can. Kyrie can't shoot like Luka can, and Kyrie also can't playmake like Luka can. But Luka don't have handles like Kyrie. If you mesh them together, they're the best guard ever. So just find the balance of working it out, and I'm telling you, this team will be great, and Kyrie and Luka will work. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I hope the switch in scenery wasn't so bad, but I'm going to post this anyway because I literally am not recording this again. Peace out.